Department of Business Administration at Future Institute of Engineering and Management. I warmly welcome you all to the 11th lecture session on the final day of the ATAL Online 6-Day Faculty Development Program named Mid-Tech Challenges and Opportunities under the Make in India framework, organized by Future Institute of Engineering and Management, Sonarpur. By this time, we all have gained substantial insights and knowledge on various dimensions of AI applications in the healthcare sector. Today, let me take the privilege of introducing our speaker, Dr. Jyoti Shekhar Banerjee, who is currently the Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Techno Bengal Institute of Technology, Kolkata. He also serves as Professor in charge of the Research and Development and Consultancy Cell and the Nodal Officer of the IPR Cell at BIT. Since 2024, Dr. Banerjee has been working as a remote researcher with the Internet of Things and Applications Lab, Ithaca, in the Departmental of Electrical and Computer Engineering at the University of Western Macedonia, Greece. He additionally serves as adjunct research faculty under the Lincoln Global Postdoctoral Research Program at Lincoln University College, Malaysia. He is former remote research fellow of the Cognitive Computing and Brain Informatics Research Group at Nottingham Trent University, UK, where he has also completed his postdoctoral fellowship in the Department of Computer Science. Dr. Banerjee holds a postgraduate diploma in IPR and TBM from Bakaut, West Bengal. With 21 years of teaching and research experience, he has completed an IEI funded project and currently serves as the Secretary cum Treasurer of the ISTE West Bengal section and Secretary of the IETE Kolkata Center. He is also the immediate past secretary of the Computer Society of India, Kolkata chapter, and has recently been elected as the vice chairman cum chairman of the CSI Kolkata chapter for 2025 to 2027. Dr. Banerjee is truly a distinguished professional in this field. I now invite him to take over the session. I am certain that all of us will gain valuable insights from his 1-hour talk, followed by 5-minute interactive session. Over to Dr. Banerjee. Dr. Banerjee, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Am I visible also, maybe?
Yes, sir, you are visible.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Sir, we can't listen you. Have you started?
Actually, no. Actually, in a
Take your time, sir,
sharing,
no issue.
yeah, in a sharing option, can
Your
you see
screen
my
is
screen?
visible. Your screen is visible, sir.
But it is not moving.
Oh. Will you please change it once so that we can?
Can you tell me what should be the exact presenter mode in team?
So the screen on the left hand side.
This is also still not moving.
It's not moving, but it is visible, sir.
Yes, it is visible in fast screen, fast page. It is not moving to the next page. Screen, I'm selecting screen, but it is not moving, you know.
But এটা তো আমাদের
It's not moving.
Sir, you may choose the window and then select the individual window.
I have already selected that also. Window, then I move to the next exact PPT. But when I'm moved to the
Next one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's happening, sir. Thank you.
yeah, now it is working. So thank you. First of all, I would like to thank FIEM for inviting me in this ATAL FDP uh, for discussing a topic on application of explainable AI in healthcare. I think about me, it is bit of already discussed by the organizer. Yeah. Okay. So today I will try to cover something like that. The agenda of my lecture, I will try to cover these points as much as I can. So all we know that this is the era of AI/ML, and in this era, all we believe that artificial intelligence can play a pivotal role in everyone's life. It may be impacted society, it may be impacted our industry, it may be impacted everything, the people around it and the society around it us. So that is why John McCarthy, who is known as, considered as the father of artificial intelligence, was an American computer scientist. The term actually artificial intelligence was coined by him in the mid 50s. Though we are seeing the last 10 to 15 years, the boom of AI, the AI comes very quickly everywhere. But it is not the fact that the artificial intelligence and its practice started 10 to 15 years or 20 years. As all we know that it has been started in the mid 50s, where the basic motivation was to simulate something, to create something, process system, which can be or which may have the intelligence like human being. So the motivation to create such an ecosystem which can be very much beneficial instead of a human being, a system can take some decision, can solve some problems. So the what is the buzzword? The buzzword is the human intervention should be zero. This is the important thing. So this is the biggest motivation for incorporating AI in this particular concept AI. The people have started practicing. That was the biggest motivation. So whenever applying AI and its various types of application in various types of problem, so this particular concept always in our mind that a human intervention should be less. So whenever intervention should be less, the decision should be correct one. The the classification, prediction, decision making. So all we know that these are the areas where artificial intelligence work. So before to discuss anything, all we agree that yes, this is the era of AI/ML. All we are involving ourselves for continuing different types of projects, maybe with some colleagues, maybe with our scholar, maybe with our student. We are doing a lot of things using AI, but whenever the question of adaptability may be in our life, maybe in our real-time decision making, how many percentage we are applying that? So this is another important question. Suppose we people are carrying out a lot of AI projects like detection of cancer, so like detection of tumor, uh, as it is the topic related to the healthcare topic we are discussing AI in healthcare. So that is why I am taking such type of problems. But the question is that whenever we are having the decision, yes, the patient is diagnosed as the cancer, are we immediately going to start medicine? The answer is no. But the AI is detecting a patient having cancer, but we are not still implicating any steps. Why? Though all we are considering AI can solve a lot of problems, but we are not effectively utilized. So the question comes in our mind whether the result of AI is believable, is trustable. So the question arising in our mind. Suppose in our Indian Penal Code, the AI result where is applicable or not. Maybe recently in American court, IBM Watson, and last February, it was adopted in the American court that yes, AI bot uh, can be added and can take some decision, can give some ideas for US court. But in Indian penal code, still it is not. Whenever all we are trying to adapt the results, the decision, prediction, but we are not implementing. So this is the biggest question nowadays. So where is the lag? Why we are not able to adapt AI in real-time scenario? Where this was our primary, concern to discuss AI. So these questions are very much important whenever we are adapting artificial intelligence. As we know that artificial intelligence based project, normally whenever producing some results, we are basically asking ourselves, can we trust this output? How do we know if they are making the right decision, whether the decision are correct or not? What happens when they make mistake? If the result was wrong, so what we should do and why we believe the result generated by the artificial intelligence. So these questions are nowadays very much important whenever we are planning AI to apply everywhere, and specifically when in a healthcare sector, it is very important because we deal with the human being, the life of the human being. So each and every decision having a very critical significance. Okay, so that is why these questions are very much important. So if we consider what are the fundamental limitations of AI with respect to such aspect. So basically, uh, you know, AI is having a very opaque nature. It is not a trustable. It is quite ambiguous nature. Okay, so such type of AI model become increasingly complex. Actually, nowadays, we are applying AI and getting the result of AI in such a way that it looks like that the artificial intelligence and its application is so much easy because the datasets are available in Kaggle. The every AI model and its relevant code, which is also available in internet. Okay, so the dataset is available, the the code of the model that is also available. So it is very easy to generate its result. But with respect to the complexity, with respect to the understanding how the AI process model are working, we are not at all bothered enough. So that is why it is opaque, why it is increasingly complex. So this is perhaps be the biggest reason. So that is why it sometimes looks like that it basically a black box. We don't know what inside this box, but we are giving some input and getting the result. But why the result is generating, no one is bothered. So that is why, with respect to healthcare sector, where we are dealing with the life of a human being, at that time we are a bit of confused whether the decision taken from such type of opaque system, whether it is a trustable or not. So these things making a huge confusion in specifically that sector like healthcare, where each and every decision having a huge importance, right? So why it is a black box? You can see the diagram, right? Uh, you can see the diagram. So just like a black box, the AI model basically in within the AI model, what is happening, how it is making decision, we the people don't bother. Actually, we provide some input, getting some result in form of decision making, in form of classification, in form of prediction. So it basically creating a black box type of system. So the traditional AI, we can describe it is nothing more than a black box approach, right? This is the point of where the need for explanation come in the scenario. So now we can understand that yes, so someone if responsible to describe how the decision has been taken. So if it is provide with some logical explanation, then it may be believable, then it may be more evident to take some decision whenever the consideration of the life of a human being, because all we need to very much cautious, all we need to very much careful whether the decision has been taken with accuracy, required accuracy. So that is why this is the biggest reason to introduce explainable AI. The AI system which itself explain why it comes up with some decisions like it may be a decision, it may be a prediction, it may be a classification. So why such type of classification result is providing, what are the reason behind that, right? So that is why the need for explainable AI, whenever we are planning, we need to use artificial intelligence everywhere in our society and the field like healthcare, where we need to be very much cautious. So that is why explainable AI is basically explain the inner process of a model, what we are just talking about, right? So how it taking a decision, it basically explain the reason behind that. That is used to provide the explanation of the method, procedure, output of the process, and it should be understandable by the user. It seeks to provide insight in the decision-making process of AI system. So basically, thus the system is comes up with some transparent and accountable approach, which is not available in the present AI scenario. So the two important terms are, we basically expecting AI system should be transparent, should be accountable, so that whenever we are taking some decision, we can say that why we have taken some decision, because due to the accountability, because due to the reason provided by the explainable AI. So if we go the generic scenario, that is a comparison feature between traditional AI with explainable AI, you can see that Defense Advanced Research Project Agency DARPA of the USA introduced explainable AI in 2015. So it is not so much old technique that comes in a scenario wherever in 2021, a Trust AI project showed that XAI can be used in interdisciplinary type of application problems. So this explainable AI, we can use this type of tool in various fields, say like psychology, say like statistics, obviously in various branches of computer science. Maybe it may be in its sub branch, say like we can consider healthcare, maybe the sub branch under the computer science. Okay, and may provide explanation which basically increase the trust of the user. The trust is a very important thing. We need to believe that AI produced a result. We can believe that. So that is why such type of approach, that is the explainable AI-based approach, can be considered as the white box approach, which can explain itself why the AI comes up with such decision. So if you see that, the traditional AI, obviously training data, okay, it should be trained, that means in learning phase. Obviously some function, if you consider any type of AI system, it may be neural network, it may be any type of AI based system, it may be random forest, SVM. Okay, based on the function we can provide some input. Okay, it may be whenever completing, we can divide the data, say like training, testing. Okay, so whenever, if we consider that the image of the cat we are providing in a testing phase, okay, so it is producing the result that this is a cat, right? The answer may be correct one, but the question comes to a user that why did you do that? Why not something else? When do you succeed? When do you fail? When can I trust you? How do I correct an error? So these are the evident question comes in the user's mind. So there is no answer. Maybe sometimes AI, the traditional AI-based approach comes up with a correct decision, but no one is there to answer such type of question. So that is why if we consider explainable AI-based approach, where a new box or new block, that is explainable model with the existing AI system, that particular explainable model can explain why the AI model comes up with the decision. So like this, in the same scenario, if we consider in the explainable AI based approach, the result is quite same. This is a cat. But the difference is that in the traditional AI system, there was no explanation. But here you can see that it has for whiskers, claws, it has this feature. So such type of feature only available in cat. So now you can believe that yes, AI comes up the decision or the result which may have the evident reason of why it is cat. So now, in the user's mind, they can understand the problem, they can understand why it is not other thing, and you know, they should believe that yes, the result is quite correct. And uh, if there is some question of error, so they may have the reason why error is producing, because that explanation is also comes up in explainable AI. So the trustability among the users may increase whenever you are going to utilize explainable AI. So that is why it is the time, if we popularize AI in the next level, so the user nowadays applying explainable AI everywhere. So now see the five key questions to answer when building XAI. So now it is the time all we believe that yes, explainable AI is much more better platform than the traditional AI. Whenever to believe AI based result, we should use such type of approach. But the few question still arising in the mind of the user. The first question, explain to whom? These basically understand the different stakeholder. It basically explain the stakeholder of the system to whom we should explain. The next question, why explanation is required? It under this particular point, the list of the reason uh, to answer of the question why, that has to be listed. The immediate next question, how to explain under this particular question different methods to justify the question how this such type of methods has to be explained. When to explain, that means you know the before, during, or after the model is built. Maybe explanation is required before the model is built, maybe during the model is built, maybe after the model. Believe me, there is a uh, obviously approach that is, even if you not use explainable AI, there is an approach, okay, to add post hoc approach. Even you can add that particular model to get to get the explanation why AI comes with such type of decision. So the last question, that is, what are the explanation technique? That means under this particular point, the taxonomy of different techniques of explanation. So the explanation, that means it should comes with some taxonomy. It is not a human, natural language explanation. The explanation should come with some standard format. So these five key arrays we need to consider whenever we try to develop explainable AI. So on the developer's mind, we should need to focus in five questions. We need to be aware. We need to plan something like that. That during the implementation, we need to address these five questions. Otherwise, the target audience will not be the satisfied one. Two important uh, you know norms in XCI are explainability and interpretability. So sometimes it seems to us that there is no difference of explainability and interpretability, but it is these two terms are quite different with respect to explainable AI. Basically, explainability, works as a whole. That means explainability refers to the ability to provide a clear and understandable explanation of how the important term is how an AI model arrive at a particular decision or prediction. This is basically the definition of explainability. So how an AI model arrived at a particular decision or prediction. So maybe this can be a human readable explanation in natural language, generating visualization that highlight the important feature used by the model. Okay, so that the result we may achieve from explainability, which may be easy to understand. There is no need for technical explanation and how it comes with some result. It is very much evident and clear that we can see the factors are main reason for taking such decision. Wherever, whenever we can consider interpretability, it basically are inner characteristics. You can see that interpretability, on the other hand, refers to the ability to understand and interpret the internal workings of the AI model. So the important line is that to understand and interpret the internal workings of the AI model. Basically, due to the interpretability, okay, so AI model comes up with a decision. So these two are, not two different aspect. In basically the inner aspect. Interpretability is an inner aspect. Okay, so this involves understanding the model structure, parameters, and the relationship between the inputs and output. Okay, so these two terms sometimes may create confusion in the mind of the user. So don't be confused in the next time whenever you are studying explainable AI. So explainability as a whole, how the AI model comes a decision, and interpretability, the internal working of the AI model. So if you see with some example how interpretability and explainability works, you may be see the diagram that it illustrates the medical diagnosis model, okay, which basically predicts that a patient has a particular disease or not. So we are considering this is a problem. Okay, so medical diagnosis model. So an explanation of how the model arrived at that decision would be considered explainability. So how comes with a decision? It basically the meaning of explainability. But the question is that highlighting the important symptom, okay, or risk factor that may be helpful for taking the decision to comply explainability. So those are, that means the important symptoms, risk factors. These are the interpretability that leads to the diagnosis. Okay, so if you see that these are the interpretability of the medical diagnosis model. Maybe transparency, maybe model tool, maybe feature analysis, visualization tool, outcome tool, prototype analysis. So all these are the uh, models are basically explaining the internal operation of the AI model. It basically try to find out what are the important symptoms, what are the risk factor. Considering those symptoms and risk factor, finally the AI model comes up that may be a patient having cancer. That is the explainability. But the reason behind the important symptom, risk factor, these comes up with some interpretability. So I do believe that now it is very much clear that interpretability and explainability, these two terms are not the same one. These two terms are quite different. Okay. So I initially described the difference between, traditional AI model and the explainable AI model. So now, if you see that in terms of input, we try to provide some sort of data set which having a lot of feature, right? So we can provide this particular data set to train the model. Maybe it is AI ML model. It may be different types of models are there. So what is the new thing? So new thing is that explainable model. Maybe we are using here SHAP, sharp. Okay, so it comes up with some explanation. Explanation in terms of, so if you see that a high relevance, there is a low relevance. So contribution of the factor, the first, that is the highest relevance. So this factor is the deciding factor for coming up with some decision. The second contributing factor, which is the second contributor of the feature, that is also helping to come up with the another with the decision, whatever may be the decision. Maybe the decision may be the cancer diagnosis. Okay, so at that time cancer positive. So why a patient is considered as a cancer positive? Maybe 3 to 4 or 5 evident features should be there. If we consider that these values could be the higher one or more higher than the existing traditional level, so those features may be considered for diagnosis of a patient that yes, the patient is having cancer. So you can see that how explainable AI comes up with some decision. So these are the like this is feature 0, feature 6, feature 5, feature 2. So now you can see that in the data set, which is considered feature 0, having the highest value feature value. Okay, that means it is high relevance. That means this particular feature is responsible for which type of, you know, we need to come up with a decision. So this feature will having highest significance. Then feature 6, then feature 5, then feature 2. Even the next features almost having, insignificant role. So whenever we are considering for such type of problem, we may consider the first three features are responsible for taking any decision. So now any decision comes up with these feature-based approach. Now it is very much clear to us that yes, maybe whenever doctors they are taking some decision about a patient based on the test result, laboratory based test result. In the test result you can see that a lot of features are there, their values are there. There is an indicator that the traditional value or the normal value, beyond that we can consider that it is now alarming stage. So whenever we are considering say like feature 0 having a value 1.681, at that time we can consider okay, so this value whether the more than the normal value or not. So that is why it creates some type of decision. So you can see the next diagram. In this way, you can see that different feature like age, charges, fast, discount rate, credit understanding. So these feature, what should be the value we can see? We can see. So whenever we are taking a decision based on this value, so we may have some explanation for taking such decision. So that is why explainable AI approach, we can consider that yes, such type of approach is very much clear. We can see what are the feature contributing most, which is higher relevance for taking any decision. So this graph is also very much important. If you see the graph, so you can consider the relationship between interpretability, model performance, required amount of time with respect to model complexity. So whenever the model complexity is low, you can see it is very much interpretable. That means whenever the complexity goes high, you can see that the interpretability feature goes low. That means initial stage, all these things are very much clear to the user. But at a higher complexity, the inner working, it is not so easy to understand by the user. At the same time, you can see that what should be the required amount of training data. You can see that whenever model is model complexity is low. So at that time, model complexity is low. So at that time, the required amount of training that is also low. So whenever a model complexity goes high, you can see that it basically provides okay the higher required time for training data. Again, the model performance when the model complexity is low. So at that time, the performance was there. Whenever it gradually more complex, it is also producing quite good result. Okay, this value is also increasing, but at a certain stage, it seems like it is saturated. So whenever after that, if we increase the complexity, we are not receiving better performance, because if it achieve its highest value, so it will not going to produce more better than of. So this you know, graph explain the trade-off between model interpretability and the performance, which is very much required. So now we can explain, now we can answer that how interpretability goes with the model complexity, because it is not so easy that we are increasing the complexity and in the every stage it is possible to interpret the model to the user. It is not so easy. So you can see that even in a higher complexity, the interpretability is very, very low. So the importance of XAI, as it is a very much crucial for an organization to have a full understanding of the AI decision making process. The full understanding with model monitoring, accountability. These are the significant feature or characteristics of AI model. And using this particular XAI approach, we need not to trust AI model blindly, because now we have some reason why we are comes up with some result. So we may have some explanation. We can say that due to this value of this feature, we comes up with some decision. So it may be more believable, right? So explainable AI can help human to understand and explain machine learning in an efficient way. That is why the importance of XAI, just like understanding models behavior, identify what are the different types of bias, data leakage. Okay, whenever we comes up with some arbitrary value of the feature, we maybe investigate why comes up with some value, because now you can understand using explainable AI the value of the every feature. So one type of engineering comes up which is known as feature engineering. Believe me and trust me, nowadays whenever we comes up with some decision, obviously using some AI model, so at that time, feature engineering playing a very much pivotal role. And now all you can understand why feature engineering day after day having much more importance in the era of AI/ML. some regulatory reason, okay, that means healthcare, insurance, okay, where reasons should be there, because these factors, uh, you know, such type of process like insurance sector, if the patient don't have any disease, why the insurance company going to pay? Okay, so they need to understand the reason. So who will give you the reason? Maybe explainable AI can explain the process, and that may be believable. Improving black box model. So I already explained how it improved the traditional AI-based black box process model, which now consider a bit of white box approach, and the difference is creating, that is the explainable addition of explainable model. These, due to this explainable model, it comes up in an output with an explainable interface, which explain why the AI model taking such type of decision. So if you consider that this is the difference between the traditional AI with explainable AI, the existence of explainable model. Okay. So now we are actually applying artificial intelligence almost every sector. Everywhere we are applying AI. There is no, it is not at all specified that computer science is a field where can AI used. So AI, we are applying AI everywhere. But today's discussion is basically AI in healthcare. So here we need to understand uh, AI in healthcare. That is, what are the reason, what are the sectors, sub-sectors uh, to apply AI, and those sectors may be influenced very much if we use explainable AI. So if you see this diagram, application of AI in healthcare. So you can see that diagnosis of disease. Everyone here present agree with me that yes, this is the biggest reason, that is the diagnosis of disease. So this is one of the biggest application of AI. Medical image diagnosis. All you agree from the COVID-19 era to till date. So different types of image segmentation, classification, okay, registration. So those are working with image processing. These terms are not new to them. And believe me and trust me, everywhere explainable AI is working very fine. Drug discovery. From the COVID-19 scenario to till date, what should be the exact drug for a particular disease? Okay, so AI is playing a very pivotal role, but due to the nature of the black box, okay, so explainable AI could be a better replacement than of the traditional AI. Okay, because explainable AI comes with some explanation. So like personalized medicine, medical robot, electronic health record, clinical trial, outbreak prediction. Maybe I have given some sector or subsector, but it is not limited within this, because we are in, just like we are right now almost the end of the industrial revolution, industry 4.0. We are almost industry 5.0. So like we are lives in a society. In this society, as you know that we are in society 5.0. So society 5.0 is just like a human centered society or super smart society. So if I ask you, because a lot of, this is the last day of this FDP, and a lot of discussion carried out by eminent speaker in this FDP. So if I ask you, so right now we are living in which healthcare era? Anyone can answer me? What is the current era of healthcare? Anyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So anyone can answer me? Say like, I already asked you that yes, you know, we are in almost the end of the industry 4.0. We are almost in industry 5. We are living in society 5.0. So what is the healthcare era right now we are passing? Anyone?
Those, if you have the answer, please raise your hand or you can write it in the chat box.
And you can simply say also, because I cannot see the messages. If you have received any message, please say this message, read this message. Okay.
It's
So no answer.
5.0. It's written
Yeah.
from Shochin Odhikari. Oh,
Yes.
no, Ahankari.
Yes, it is absolutely right. So healthcare 5.0, we are actually living in healthcare 5.0, and which is basically another human-centric healthcare system, where human being is in the center. And here the emerging applications, say like artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, AR, VR, uh, such type of emerging technologies, all these are clubbed together for providing better healthcare solution. That is comes up with the healthcare 5.0. So whenever we are living in this era, healthcare 5.0, so AIML is not only the reason for to achieve healthcare 5.0. So, but the thing is that, but the thing like, to believable healthcare 5.0, which may be more human centric, the artificial intelligence and machine learning obviously playing a very much pivotal role. And again, AI to believe, again, explainable AI is very, very important consideration to achieve the efficient healthcare 5.0. So, the role of the healthcare AI in healthcare, so I do believe you should see.
So the video is muted.
So seeing is believing. Okay. So that is why it is very much important to understand how AI is improving our life and how AI is playing pivotal role. Okay. Uh, to the next stage. Just a minute. Okay. So the application of AI in healthcare, it is explained, seeing is believing. You can understand that yes, the application of AI everywhere in healthcare. But if you see the limitations of AI in healthcare, you can see that the traditional process, how we come up with some decision. Okay, so like imaging equipment, brain image we can take, image segmentation, feature extraction, image identification with AI technique, obviously for recognizing image, which is helping for taking the decision, any type of decision, okay, Alzheimer, any type of, image-based decision. So if you see that, why comes up with some decision that traditional AI output lagging transparency, trustability. So these feature, I already explained the role of the AI and what are the sectors of healthcare. Uh, different types of sectors are there. I already explained you all. So definitely this is the consideration of image-based result. Okay, maybe images here are the main responsible reason for taking the decision. So in explainable AI in healthcare system, if you see that two approaches are there. One is post hoc AI method, another one it may be directly intrinsic XAI method. So please focus on these two type of model which are available for the decision making. I already explained when to, in which stage, before or during. So it is quite possible that the medical data can be utilized for taking a decision using, say, like training, say, like testing, and obviously comes up with some result. Okay, so for this particular result is helping us for decision making or explanation. So in the traditional approach, okay, black box based approach, if we adapt, we can use post hoc XI method, which may be applicable, which may be added with the existing black box method and can explain, okay, the decision taken by the black box method, that is the traditional AI method, with some medical, okay, application, or it may be comes up with a intrinsic XAI method, which is solely responsible come up with the decision with some explanation. Okay. So explainable AI in healthcare basically continues. If you see that the diagram of suppose a deep learning traditional model with explainability. Okay, so you can see the diagram. So this is a very common diagram for deep learning model. Input MRI images, that is the input data. This is the learning model. Okay, so here you can see that what are the things that are going on. This portion is responsible for classification. Okay, this portion is responsible for segmentation. Okay, so explainability, why it is required, in input MRI images, different type of input MRI images also are in the data set. Okay, maybe some MRI images are having okay, maybe the normal patient, and some MRI images with the patient data. Okay, so whenever this particular data set can be utilized for training purpose, and whenever the successful training, the process model when comes up with the testing phase, at that time the new data comes up, and can particularly answer whether that particular MRI images are having the disease or not. Okay, so this is the traditional scenario when the XAI in healthcare. This is the traditional scenario. That is the traditional AI. But if you see that, in explainable AI, you can see and look the diagram very clearly whenever it comes up with the patient data with explanation means what? Okay, so you can see that the feature value, what is the feature value? feature value, there is a ranking that is it start with the low and may reach with the high value. So you can see that what type of images, MRI images, you can provide any images and you can see that what type of values it has, which is absent. These feature values are absent in where? In traditional AI system. So I'm just discussing with you all, example of a healthcare system. In healthcare, different types of sector, what are the sectors are available, I already explained. Suppose this is a image based decision making. So in this way we can see that yes, some data, the first figure, this first figure, it is not maybe diagnosed as the patient, it is, there is no disease, there is no disease, but it may be considered that, okay, so whenever we are considering the which one is normal, which one is patient data, we can consider from the images. So similar thing is that explainable AI in healthcare, suppose we can consider COVID-19 infected. Okay, this is a classification or prediction problem, whether the patient is COVID-19 or not. It is a case of prediction. Okay, the question comes up in our mind, that is in the black box approach. Why is it infected? Can I trust you? Because in a traditional black box method, the method is there, that means the machine learning, this is the machine learning process, this is the input image. Maybe the black box method comes up whether it is okay diagnosed as the COVID-19 or not, but still user may consider this question. But if we consider that, okay, the transparency of explainable AI, you can see that the transparency can be achieved using explainable. Maybe it is a post hoc XAI method. Maybe it is the intrinsic XAI method. Okay, so it comes up with some value, feature value. So I can see how you make prediction. I understand why. I can trust you because I understand. Because understanding is very much required, which is this type of feature value, which is not available. It comes up only the result, COVID-19 or not. But here we may find out, because due to the data, what are the features are responsible whether a patient having COVID or not. Okay, this is very much evident. So doctor, if they find with this prediction that those values are in a higher feature, so they may consider, they may believe that yes, this answer is correct. But in this decision, doctors cannot see there is a any feature value ranking. So how they believe that whether the result is correct or not. So these visual comparison between black box and explainable artificial intelligence and how the result affect the user. So in this way, how we are considering the result is believable. In this way, we can consider, yes, the result is believable. Typically, it provides only the result such as classes, that is COVID or non-COVID. Okay. Uh, so another two important term that is very, very important term, that is local explainability may be considered as the local or global. Another one thing is that model specific and model agnostic. So all you need to understand these four concepts, very important four concepts. One thing, the first one, that is a local. When the explainability is made for an individual prediction, a specific prediction, such type of explainability may be considered as a local. Suppose we are looking for to understand which input variable contributed most to the prediction. So such type of explainability is known as local. But whenever we are considering global approach, we try to understand which variables are the most useful for the model as a whole for taking the prediction. Those variables. So one is a specific approach. Another one, this particular thing is that local approach. Another one is global approach. How the model taking the decision, what are the variables are, at the root cause. So one thing is a local, another one is a global.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. I just want to give a subtle reminder that only 12 minutes left. And
Okay,
we are
my
having the
maybe.
question answer section also.
Okay, I can understand because the topic is so much
So
heavy,
vast and so
and
engaging.
yes, I try to explain in detail because as it is a faculty development program, all the faculties are here. They may have specific questions, so I try to cover this topic in detailed manner. It's okay. I try to wrap up within 10 to 15
Because
minutes.
participants may have lots of questions also to ask you. So we have to
Definitely,
provide them
definitely,
the time.
definitely. Please.
Thank you, sir.
So the second important concept, that is model agnostic and model specific. Another these two important term, that is very much important. If you see that, suppose we are considering, uh, suppose model specific. Model specific is a type of machine learning and maybe a technique. This particular technique can be used for explaining any model. If you see this particular diagram, this is model A, this is model B, this is model C. That means it may be a complex deep learning model, it may be a simple k nearest neighbor algorithm. But if we use the same technique, which can be used for explainability of complex model as well as the most simple model, such type of process, such type of technique is known as model agnostic. Whenever, if we consider model specific, suppose for a complex model, a specific technique is responsible for interpretation. This particular approach is known as model specific. So here, for each and every model, different techniques. So this technique B, is not able to interpret, say, like complex model A. So that is why such type of technique is known as model specific. So maybe you all are having the question that how model specific and model agnostic are responsible, because if you see that there are two very popular type of explainable AI which are used for feature based method. One is line, another one is sham. Okay, so you can see that the full form of Shapley additive explanation value, it is also a value. So whenever you are using SHAP, you receive features to produce values. So this technique basically attempts to understand overall prediction. So the SHAP method is based on Shapley value, a well-known measurement in economics and game theory, that is Shapley value, for evaluating the impact of different participants in a cooperative game. Cooperative game theory is very popular thing. Okay, so SHAP in the XAI context can be used for local as well as for the global. So mainly we normally use SHAP as for global explanation, though sometimes we may use, SHAP for local explanation also, but mostly we use for global. And it is basically a model specific method. That means different types of techniques like decision tree based models such as a decision tree, random forest, gradient boosting method. So different types of techniques are available here in SHAP to explain, to interpret different types of model. So how basically I have don't don't have so much time to explain in a detail. So, how
Yes, sir.
basically SHAP is working, you can see this particular diagram, you can understand that how it comes, what are the equations are responsible for producing such type of result. It may be a kernel shape, it may be a tree shape, it may be a deep shape. Okay, so shape can be utilized for different types of AIML techniques. Maybe it consider from complex technique to even simpler techniques, say like k nearest neighbor. Okay, so again, the another one, the explainable model, say like line, that is the full form of local interpretable model agnostic explanation. So within this, the full form of line, we can understand that this particular approach is a local approach. That means it explains the decision of a complex model for a specific instance or observation. Complex model for a specific instance, not the all of the observation here considered. So it is a part of a complex model. It may work for a specific instant or observation. That is why it is known as a local model. It is not considered as the global model. So if you can ask me for what type of problem we should use line, for what type of problem we should use shape, I prefer and normally suggest you all, for low complexity problem you should use the line approach. Okay, for a complex problem I prefer to use and I suggest you to use shape. And this particular thing is that this is model agnostic approach. So what is the meaning of model agnostic? So using line, this particular one technique is there which can be utilized to explain, say like complex process models, say like deep learning, to a very simple machine learning model, that is k nearest neighbor. Okay, so here we may receive the explanation which may be an average explanation, not a very detailed explanation we may expect from line. But still I am telling you all that line could be very good for low complexity problem. Line can be considered for such type of approach. So that's such type of output. I previously shown the output mostly taken from SHAP. So now you can consider such type of output you may receive if you use, okay, line. Okay, so this particular thing. So here the main the contributing factor may be highlighted or identified. Maybe it is not possible to identify the more specific reason because it is a specific, it consider only specific instance. Maybe suppose here this feature having highest value, but I cannot say that this feature may be considered for overall prediction. Maybe for other instance, some other feature may have different value. I do believe that this particular point I have explained very clearly, so that whenever you are taking for which circumstances we should use line, we should use shape. Okay. So till
Thank you,
date,
sir.
we have
So,
used so many papers, we have used numerous application of explainable AI in various conference, journal, book chapter, papers, different some real-time scenario where we have applied explainable AI for specifically healthcare solution. Okay, uh, you can see that I'm just go through the slide. You may aware that how explainable AI can be utilized efficiently, okay, for getting the result. Say maybe we have worked with the autism prediction. So in this way 4 different types of data set we have applied. Okay, so the feature
sir,
engineering. Okay,
sorry to
yes.
interrupt. Since we are having 2 minutes more, we can take only one question, if you allow.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
And the
Okay.
rest of the questions, please write it in the chat box. If there is any question, please write it. Otherwise, I will conclude the session. Okay, from Dr. Shomudeep Ghosh, he is asking, what is the right evidence standard for validating the clinical effectiveness and safety of AI tools? How easily can AI solutions integrate with existing electronic health records, EHR, and other healthcare technologies? Yes, sir.
This is very important question. Whenever to believe AI in a real-time scenario, this question comes up very frequently because we are dealing with some result that we try to explain that to believe AI. And this question, why it is very much relevant? Because to believe AI, we need to implement AI in such a way so that it can be seen by everyone. That means I already explained that different stakeholders are there. So that means the stakeholder means maybe one stakeholder, maybe the doctors. Another one question may come up, that is whether such type of approach may release the significance of a medical practitioner, that means the doctors, because everything, if everything is so much evident, so we can take the decision. But the thing is that it may not be why this question having huge significance. I am repeatedly telling you that explainable AI based approach primarily adapted for to assist, for to explain the problem statement in a very explainable manner. So maybe this particular tool can be used to help medical practitioner. At the same time, that particular explanation can be useful for to understand the layman like us. Okay, and to implementation, that is also very important, that whenever in the question that in medical data, whenever we are considering this data continuously, suppose for smartwatch. Okay, so in the smartwatch,
Thank you.
different types of, just 1 minute, different types of sensors are there. Okay, so randomly these sensors are collecting data. So in a statistical manner, we can record the different feature value, which can be considered in a timely manner, how this feature is changing or affecting to take any decision. So in this way, this particular tool cannot be considered as a direct decision. It may be considered as the helping hand, may be considered for medical practitioner as well as for the user.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I take the opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Dr. Banerjee for his insightful and enriching sessions on application of explainable AI in healthcare. Actually, you have explained so nicely that how the deficiency, the black box problems of the traditional AI can be replaced by white box XAI, and how we can take some transparent interpretability and explainable decision in the healthcare. So the trustworthiness and the adaptability of the AI generated decisions can be enhanced. It's actually, since the time is short, and I'm very sorry that we could not hear you in details, but I would look forward for such more sessions with you. On behalf of the participants and the organizing team, I extend my heartfelt thanks for your valuable time, effort, and contributions. And thank you, sir, once again. Thanks a lot. And the link for the next session will be shortly posted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting
Thank
me.
you, sir.
Thank you to all.
It's nice to hear you, sir. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.